Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. Today is Monday, the 20th of June, 2022. It's Juneteenth Day, so happy Juneteenth Day to all those who are celebrating. And the market's being closed. I thought I would share with you a glimpse of all the things that I go through as a content creator. Some very interesting phenomenon, especially because I keep on searching for new items to put together and also look at some opinions here and there. I don't get enough time to look at other creators' contents because I am busy creating my own content. And also I avoid getting into any other genomics channel so that my thoughts are not influenced by something else. So most of the time I turn to news agencies and government websites and so on when I have an idea so that I can get the data from there, put it all together, and make a concept that's worthwhile presenting to you guys. And during the daily update sessions, I look at CNBC and a few other popular websites to look at what are the latest headlines, what is trending. And if I find anything interesting, I pick it up and I do my initial outlook section for the daily update. So that's my process. And during the process, I find many times that there are articles that are clickbait, and there are articles with really crazy headlines which are totally improper. So I'm going to share some of those with you today, and it's a light-hearted video, so just enjoy when you're having some relaxing time, and don't expect too much from this video. It's just something to give you a glimpse of my life as a content creator. I hope you find it amusing. Let's get started. So here is the first headline as an example. I got this from CNBC. I'll also put the link below in case you want to go and read it. I don't find much newsworthy out there. The headline reads, "The system is rusty. Executives defend industry as airlines cancel scores of flights." Now, the real situation is that people are paying increasing airfares, and the least they would like to have is for the flight to depart on time. Not to talk about the baggage fees and all other fees that are tagged on top of everything. So let us look at the current situation. Gas prices are high, people are still paying higher prices, and they're willing to take the airlines. And as investors, we see these airlines saying that they're able to recover all their costs and still make profits. So is this the way to go? I mean, these executives are paid a lot of money. They are paid hundreds of times more than the average worker in their company. And the reason they are paid that is because they are expected to be able to look forward, anticipate, plan, optimize, and provide a great customer experience, deliver a great product, and be innovative and find out-of-the-box solutions and all those cliches that you can use. And at the end of it, they just turn around and say, the system is rusty. I think this passes as news and this passes as an excuse. And the same executives, I guarantee, will take home a huge bonus. Whereas you and I, who are retail investors, are taking the risk in the market because our job doesn't pay us enough to guarantee safe retirement. And that's the reason why I am still investing at this point of time. Progressively, people are doing multiple gigs just to maintain their quality of life. And this kind of an excuse from highly paid executives is absolutely uncalled for, I would say, for lack of a better term. It's a very silly excuse. Now here is a classic. This again is from CNBC, and we have a headline. It's for pros, so I can't open the article. If you have pro subscription, then you can go and have a look at this article. But the headline reads, "Kevin O'Leary names 3 companies to invest in. These are companies not going to zero." Since when has it become a qualification that a company is not going to go to zero, therefore you can invest in it? We always look at investing in companies which are going to give us increasing returns. So this headline itself is very scary, and the fact that it is going into the pro section indicates to me that there are people with money to invest who are actually going to be taken in by this kind of a headline and pay to read it. So that's what I'm thinking. You can put your comments down here because obviously CNBC is a big brand and it's doing a lot of business and making a lot of money. So maybe this thing works. Maybe we start a separate channel with these kind of headlines and see how it will take off. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't think that's kind of a headline that is ideal for any investor these days, especially people who are paying to read news from a channel. So that said, here's another classic from CNBC.com. I'm not bashing CNBC, but it's my go-to. I look at CNBC first before I start my day. So obviously, most of my headlines are coming from there. This headline, it was published on 20th of June, which is today. It says 4-day week, question mark. These firms say they have nailed the new working model and profits are good. So it talks about a company which has got employees on 4-day week contracts, and they are overlapping the employees' shift so that even though they work 4 days, the company can still deliver around the week service. This is all well and good, but the whole article does not talk about salaries. So we have seen, at least in Toronto, I have seen, when I came to Toronto many years ago, I started working with a major bank, one of the top 5 banks. The salary was good, and we were invited for Christmas party with our family. And it was always on a very, very reputed restaurant with desserts and 3-course meals, and also there were games and gifts and everything. The whole family was invited, and 3 years down the line it became like just the employees invited for the party, and then it became like you come to this hotel and you're going to have some drinks and starters and off you go. So that's how things change, because companies are cutting all these expenses. But these same banks have been giving higher and higher dividends. You look at any of the top 5 banks in Canada, they have been giving increasing dividends even despite this COVID crisis and everything. So it's not like they don't have money, but the CEOs scrape off the employee cost, which is the low-hanging fruit. And this is the attitude which has pushed a lot of work out of North America, hollowed out North America, and outsourced a whole lot of work to lower cost countries, and thereby transferred prosperity and imported cheap goods. And nowadays the goods are designed for obsolescence. So you have dishwashers and washer dryers and television sets and computers. When you go to buy them, the seller offers you insurance that is valid for 3 years. They offer post-manufacturer guarantees that you have to buy. These are all new models of business. So of course you are getting a much better functionality at a lower price, but these things don't last as long as the older appliances and older devices used to last. So that's what is happening out here. And coming back, I had digressed. Coming back to the 4-day week, the article doesn't talk about how they are paid. And I bet you that people are going to finally go to a model where they have 1-day week in the guise of saying that, we don't overwork our employees. But the same employee has to work 1-day week in 5 different companies to bring home the bread and butter and to maintain the quality of life they had before. So this is all leading towards precarious employment with the rising interest rate, rising rent rates and rising cost of accommodation and cost of living. This is a slippery slope, but this is presented as some kind of innovation and that this company is doing something great. So I would like to see what kind of wages they are paying the employees and whether the existing employees have taken this 4-day week deal with the current terms that they had when it was still a 5-day week kind of a setup. That's not seen in this article. That's why I'm a bit skeptical about this. And finally, we have another article. This was published in the Business Insider on 10th of June of this year. And the headline reads, "Truckers warn skyrocketing diesel prices are making US supply chain and trucking industry unsustainable." Now, this headline is very, very deceptive because I have personally followed the plight of truck drivers even before the truckers convoy started making its presence felt in Canada. I had a few friends who were into the trucking business, and I knew that they had a tough time. So here is what is actually happening in the trucking industry, which is driving people away from the business. That's why there's a shortage of truckers. Truckers are paid by the mile, not by the hour. So they get stuck in highways. Like in Ontario, we have the Highway 401, which is the most congested despite having multiple lanes, and it's a very wide highway. but it always has congestion. And the truck driver is stuck there with all small cars trying to go ahead of him. There is amount of road rage that they might be experiencing. And they go through all these things, but they are not paid for all the hassles that they are going through in the highway waiting. And therefore, they don't have time to get down to pee. They can't take a pee break. That's why you have this urban legends of truckers peeing into a bottle and keeping it away and things like that. And when they are sleepy, they are not able to take a sleep break because they are supposed to deliver goods at a particular location at a particular time. So it's very, very difficult for them. On top of it, in order to attract truckers into the industry came up with another novel idea. They said you can drive and own the truck. So you will basically be an independent contractor, which means the company doesn't have any liability on you. You're supposed to have your own liability insurance and everything. We will give you a truck, which is going to cost X amount of money. And every month from your salary, we are going to take away the installment. And after 5 years or 6 years or whatever, you will own the truck. So the trucker is drawn into this, thinking that, yeah, he's going to own a nice, shiny new truck. And he's going to be his own boss. But the real fact is that they're going to be struggling to take home any money because most of their salary is going to go away paying for the installment for the truck. And they're also supposed to do maintenance and other costs. So by the time they get the truck after 5 years, it's going to be a worn down truck, which is got a lot of maintenance issue and cost of operation. And it's just a mirage. And many of these truckers are so disappointed that they're leaving the industry. And recently I saw another headline in the New Yorker. I don't have it handy, but you can Google for New Yorker, which says teenage truckers to the rescue. So just like in McDonald's and other places, they have teenage boys flipping burgers because they can pay less and get away with it. They're trying to do the same thing with the trucking industry right now. So capitalism is going really crazy. It's going absolutely bonkers. And it's trying to cut costs so rampantly that bad things are likely to happen. So that's my take on all these headlines that I have. Some are outright crazy, and some are kind of camouflaging the real problem and spinning it and showing you something else, as if it's the diesel prices that are making the US supply chain and trucking industry unsustainable. That's not the case. It was already unsustainable. This is the cherry on top of the unsustainability sundae. I would say it that way. So that's what I have in terms of headlines. And yeah, this was more of a rant session of being a content creator. It's really tough because when I used to sit and watch YouTube videos, I used to go, okay, this thumbnail looks good, this article looks good, let us check it out. And I see the content creator making efforts and presenting something. In fact, that inspired me to be a content creator. And what I find now is that if you want to be an original content creator, it's really difficult. And I'm trying to stick to the originality as much as possible. And during my daily updates, I'm looking at these kind of headlines, and I'm scratching my head and wondering, do I curate these headlines and put that into my video? What's my audience going to think about it? So I let go of many of these headlines, and I just pick up the ones that I think make some sense for the times that we are in. So that's the story from my side. And of course, you have known about my woes regarding my audio. So I got a new mic, and I have done a lot of equalizer calibration and everything. And I'm also working on my own voice, trying to modulate my voice so that it's much more comprehensible on the video. So all those efforts are ongoing. But yeah, it's very interesting to be a content creator. And if any of you decide to become a content creator, do get in touch with me. I'll give you a whole lot of pointers, and I'll give you feedback on what kind of equipment to use, what kind of software to use. And I'm very glad to help. It's a bit tough, but it's very enjoyable. I'm finding content creation giving new meaning to my final innings in life as a retiree, a semi-retired person. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the glimpse I gave you of my life as a content creator. If you liked this video, please don't forget to put a like out there. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. This is a very original channel, and we're going to have lots of information regarding CRISPR and the stock market, and occasional pieces like this one, which talks about content creation and headlines and society in general. So thanks, guys. Have a great day and enjoy your holiday, and do something nice. Bye for now.